Hello, my name is Owaloazurike, and I want to speak about some of the recent events in Nigeria, particularly Rivers State. A lot of people have recently condemned the actions of Governor Wike, where he demolished a hotel for allegedly flouting COVID-19 regulations and rules. I hope to speak about that demolition, hopefully in a later video. But what I want to concentrate on for this video is the rationale, the logic behind the lockdown in Rivers State, because I think there's something missing somewhere. I strongly doubt that the governor understands what a lockdown should look like and that he understands the concept of essential services. And why am I saying this? This morning I read in the news that the governor was going to lift the lockdown in Rivers State in those two local governments in Obiakpon and Port Harcourt for 2 days. So from Tuesday to Thursday, people can now go to the shops and buy food. It was quite interesting that the governor was saying that supermarkets and malls will now be open for just 2 days and that the hospitals will now be open. And I thought, you shut down the hospitals too? Interesting. These are essential services. People should always be able to buy food. People should always be able to access the hospitals, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. And COVID-19 aside, what if someone sustains a heart attack or some other ailment and is in need of urgent medical attention? What, they die because you're enforcing a lockdown? What is the point of shutting down essential places like supermarkets and malls where people can buy food? What is the point in that, really? Because now you're going to open those places for just 2 days. And guess what? You're increasing the risk of passing COVID-19 because a lot of people are going to float to those malls and those supermarkets because they need food. They're going to be long queues and people are going to be fighting for the very few items available, thereby increasing the risk and spread of COVID-19. Another question is, where do you expect those supermarkets and malls to get those items from? You've closed the border, you shut the border. Those foodstuffs are not manufactured in Rivers State. They are brought in from other states. The shops and malls are already empty. Do they have enough for everybody in the state? What happens to that family of 4 or 5 that cannot get enough to last them for the remaining length of time you allow for the next spell of lockdown? They starve, they go hungry. You're enforcing a lockdown, but you're moving around. You're moving around with 20, 30 policemen without even observing the rules of social distancing. Are you above the lockdown? Are you above COVID-19? If you say you need to move around because you need to enforce the lockdown, it means you understand, or you should understand, what essential services are then. If your moving around is important, why do you think people should also not buy food? And why do you think hospitals should not be open? Is your moving around more important than people eating or having access to medical care? And let me just, say something. Touch a little on the hotel incident. You demolished the hotel because the owner allegedly breached or flouted your rules, your executive fiat. I don't know, there's this perception, there is this, when Nigerians hear hotel, most times we're thinking about, parties or prostitutes and all of that. No, we know that there are 3 basic wants or needs: food, clothing, and shelter or housing. And hotels can actually serve one need, which is housing. So let's say, for instance, I need to go to River State on a business trip for, say, 1 month. I don't have a house in River State, so I would need to stay in a hotel, right? Let's say I was in that hotel when you declared your emergency lockdown, and you ask or order all hotels to close. I don't have a house in River State. What do? Disappear? Sleep in the streets? Or let's use another scenario. Let's assume you need to invite doctors from Cuba or Germany to help with the COVID-19 crisis. And they need to, go to your River State to treat patients. Where do they stay? In the government house? You don't know they will need to stay in hotels? It's really amazing. These look like policies that are just invented without being carefully thought out. Closing supermarkets, closing malls, closing hospitals, demolishing hotels. There is no direction. I believe that your actions and your policies are really hurting Rivers people, and that the government could really rethink its steps and rethink those policies instead of bringing more hardship and suffering on the ordinary people of River State. Thank you.